What is up, guys? Ryla here, and today we're going to be going over my new C10, all the upgrades I've done for it, and this C10 will be for the now David and Goliath style build, because this will be the truck I'm going up against. And just to let you know, that's the chassis for the truck, and then there's my little C10. So it's kind of like a David versus Goliath. This is a 4-door long bed dually, pretty big truck. As you can see, it looks a lot bigger in person than it ever will on camera. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get into an overview of my new C10. Alrighty, so here we have my new C10. The body's a little lifted right now. I don't have it put on. But yes, it's another green C10 as you've seen in some of my shorts and such. But this thing turned out pretty great for the little bit of modding that I did. So let's go ahead and get into it. So nothing wrong, nothing done to the body. I mean, I kept the bumper. I want to upgrade them to metal bumpers. But yeah. So we have a hitch on there, obviously, to pull the trailer. Same one that was on the other green C10, because that is this hitch. We're just running it on that to kind of test it out. So if I open the body up, we're going to take a look at the wheels. So we're running some Mofo RC UDPs, and these things are great. I'm running front and rear brass rings with 6mm plus brass hexes or hubs, because the hubs are brass, not the hex. I'm running the stock plastic hexes, sadly, but yeah, all aluminum. I didn't get any black brass for this, but so far I really like the look of it with the C10. You'll see in some photos, but they turned out really great. These are mounted on some Goodyear Wrangler MT3 somethings. I don't know exactly what they are, but the link in the description for those and everything else on this build. But yeah, I'm thinking about moving the chassis around by moving the ESC back and the battery forward, just to kind of push some more weight up front. One somewhat free mod I did was a spring mod for the stock shocks. We are running some 43mm Injora double barrel springs in these stock shocks. So they're the silver ones. On the rear we are running the full spring in there. You can see it, the silver spring. We're running the full spring in the rear, just to give it some lift, so that when, you know, I have a load on it, it's going to pull up on the load instead, and it's going to give me more traction because there's going to be more pressure on the tires. Then the front, I've got them cut down to size, so that the stock size of the regular springs. I do kind of recommend just buying the Injora springs they have that fit the stock shocks, because they're already going to be compressed like they need to be, with that little end at the end of the shock where it's, you know, kind of bunched up. Where these, you can't really do that. If you know how to do that, comment down below, because I do this, and I would like to fix that. But the reason I'm running them in the front is so that when I'm going, I don't lose traction, because the springs on the stock shocks were so soft that the wheels would just kind of bounce, and you're going to lose a lot of traction like that. So I'm stiffening up the springs so that it'll kind of limit the bouncing, to grab more traction. One thing with these tires is when you get them, I think they're pretty stiff for what they are, but I really like them. They seem to be really good on the rocks, but this is on this truck, and I don't really want to rock crawl it or anything. But the stiffness of them was really good. They've softened up after using them some, but they're still really good in the dirt and kind of muddy, damp dirt, which is good. They do fill up a little bit, but it'll be okay. So going on to the front end, you know, we've already gone over the wheels. We're running the square Mofo RC brass links. They add plenty of weight for the front, just for as little as they are. And we're running the Emax servo, 12 gram, from A Main Hobbies for like $9, not counting taxes and shipping, whatever. And then we're running a Hot Racing aluminum motor mount. You can go ahead and grab an Endura one, or I said motor mount, I mean servo mount. You should be able to grab an Endura one or one from somewhere else for way cheaper than the Hot Racing one. They're just outrageously priced, I think. But yeah, so that's what we're running for the front end. So shocks are moved. So those are moved back because I didn't have a piece for the hitch to screw in. So this little square piece is a hitch, and I wasn't able to get the screw right there. I didn't have anything for that to grab onto, so I used these shock towers that comes with the truck, and I just moved them back, and then I moved the shocks down to the chassis, and used the other piece on the shock tower for that. So that's why they're kind of facing back, and they're gonna make it a lot stiffer, because once they get the travel, they're kind of straight up. But if you know how suspension works, then you should get it, if I made any sense of that. But the front end, they're just the regular move down where most people will move them, I think, to the ESC tray, the front ESC tray, screw holes. We haven't moved the body up for any clearance. We don't really need that, especially with the shocks lifting it up like they need. But yeah, all the battery tray, ESC, all that's in the stock position, other than the battery tray has been cut to fit a certain motor, and that motor is the Mofo RC Buzzsaw 50. So it's a 50 can, same as your typical Endura, little guy racing parts, hot racing motors, all those. Most of the motors you find on Amazon and such, 50 can. You just have to cut that one battery tray off, but the motor, I think, supports it pretty good. You don't want to put too much pressure on the motor because it doesn't have a mount right here, which I don't think it's going to matter that much. Then we are running the Mofo RC, battery's done charging. We're running the Mofo RC adjustable motor mount for this, and so far I like it way better than the stock Endura or little guy racing parts ones, because they don't really give you as much movement that I want, where this one I can adjust the mesh as much as I want, changing gears or whatever. So I might gear this up, gear this down. I have the option to do that, which is really awesome. So I'm running a stock transmission, so it really isn't much. So we haven't had any problems with the buzzsaw motor. It's actually a really great motor. I will have a review up on it. The wiring is super duper neat. Mofo just did a really good job with that motor. And then the way the wiring comes around the battery tray like that, it's just super duper clean. I do have to figure out what to do with the Emax wire. I tried to do that little stretchy cord thing where you wrap it around a pin or something around, and then you heat it up so it stays. Didn't really work for me. Maybe I didn't heat it up enough. I'm scared to, burn it up. But yeah, so that's really it for modifications, So let's go ahead. We're going to take this outside. We're going to pull the trailer some and do a little bit of pulling with the pulling sled and see what we can pull. So, here we have the C10 and the yellow Jeep, and we have a problem. So, looks like the screw actually snapped. So, isn't that great? I don't know how it would snap in plastic the way it did. So that'll be fun trying to fish out the plastic out of that axle housing. Or not plastic, but metal out of the axle housing. Hopefully we can get it fixed. But we're gonna keep going maybe, see how it does. Alright, so we're back out here. I got the suspension fixed. Don't yell at me yet, but couldn't get the screw out, or what snapped off. So I kind of super glued it. The super glue that I used really isn't strong. It's kind of like regular glue. But yeah, that's what I did. I'm gonna get some brass axles for it, axle housings for it, I think, anyways. So it doesn't really matter because I'll have upgraded shocks for it. As you can see, it's a little rainy right now. There's rain all over the camera. But yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of pulling with the sled over there and see what it'll pull. Alrighty, so we've got her hooked up. Got 2 hooks there, and then it's just wrapped around the hitch. It does pretty good when it's just wrapped around the hitch. Then we have 6 weights, evenly, whatever you're gonna say. I'm gonna take 2 out. We're gonna start with 4 weight, 95 grams. Well, I weighed 1 and it was 95 grams, so I'm just assuming they're all 95. So, ready, set, go. Takeoff is a little slow, just because it's not a perfectly level track at all. There's a lot of bumps in it. But once I get up some speed and traction, she goes pretty good. We're going to add another weight to it. Make sure we got everything cleared. There are some like little roots that the sled catches on really easily. We're gonna add that one in the middle, just like that. Do another pass and then we'll add the last one and see how she does. It's raining, so it's gonna get a little muddy. Hopefully not too muddy. Here we go. That pass is really good. Now, bring it back and put the last weight in it. Alright, so we have all 6 weights in it. Hopefully evenly distributed. Let's see how much spinning we can get. It spins a little bit, well, a lot, but it goes. That's all that matters. But there we go. We kind of made it. I have been going past that, just running it over. But it made it. The suspension's doing pretty good. It's not bouncing as much as it was before. And then the rear's holding up pretty good. So everything seems to be good. It pulled however much weight that is, and then whatever the sled is. So there we go. For a little truck and somewhat light modifications, it did super good. Most of it's stock configuration, keeping the lights on there, as you can see, but turned out really good. Hopefully we can keep going later on, do some more upgrades after we do the build competition. We're going to keep working on the Duramax, see how far we can get that, and maybe keep working on this. Comment down below some things I can do for free so I don't have to spend any more money on it to get better performance out of it. So I don't know if maybe I should put softer foams in the rear so that the tires flex more, so they really grab. I got a feeling that may help, but I got a feeling that I would need more weight to do that, but I'm not sure. But she pulls really good for really wheels and tires is what made the biggest performance. The motor I put in it gave me a little more speed, and it's just keeping me from bogging down as much, which is really nice. So I love the motor. The tires grip really good for a stock setup on them, stock foams, everything. And I really love the look of these wheels on the truck. It just gives it a more daily driver style feel, and they look really aggressive. To me, they look kind of aggressive, you know. But yeah, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Hopefully, we'll have the Duramax versus this video out soon. The Duramax video may or may not be up yet, but I'll have an overview just like this one of that. Whichever one comes first, comes first. Also, let me know if you want a review on any of these parts. Other than that, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you guys later.